awesome.
Oh, man.
The Hangout is now live. What's up, guys? This is another episode of Off the Post. I'm your host, DJ Redcap. And as you can see, we have a special guest. Our team has been having issues with keepers, so I sold the last one for 12 pounds, and we went and bought another one today. Yes, that is right. Jen Cooper, the keeper, has joined us on a free transfer. So we will see what she's been up to lately, and then we'll see what my defender, Jake, and I don't know, what position do you play, Jen Hayes?
I'm in the Heyo spot.
Okay, the bench. So let's go to Jake first. Jake, what have
That's
you
not
been up
cool,
to?
DJ.
Not much, just getting back in the swing of things after a 3-day weekend, so just
Nice.
relaxing here.
I don't hear any crying babies. The babies.
Yeah, baby's out of the house at the moment, so should be no echoes this week.
All right, fair enough. Let's go over to Jen Hayes. Jen Hayes, what have you been up to?
I'm still on a high from the last couple of Flash games, so it's been great. But yeah, ready to get this show on the road.
All right, sounds good. And now let's see what Jen Cooper has been up to. Hey, Jen, how have you been doing?
I'm doing pretty good, but I'm worth more than $12.
Okay.
My signing fee has to be at least an even 20.
All right, and this episode is over, since that's all we have in our bank account. It's good to have you back on as always. So.
And I've been collecting Panini stickers for the Copa America. I don't know if you did the sticker thing last year for the Women's World Cup, but it's addictive.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people really into it or whatever, so
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
kind of fun. Yeah.
We're going to have to see your sticker collection one of these days then. All right, guys, as you know, I don't know, we really, this is probably going to be one of those episodes where not a lot of people watch because it's like a special, but you'll watch afterward. But if you are watching, use the hashtag WorldSoTalk. And if you'd like some tips on how to grow your garden and watering and all that good stuff, use the hashtag DJ Redcap. Let's get into the show, shall we? I hear music in my head every time I say that. So let's talk about the roster. We're going to go to you first. Expectations, is it what you like, Jake, or, you wanted some certain players? I'll let you go now, Jake.
It's pretty straightforward, I think, at this point. Based on the Colombia games, this is pretty similar roster. The only real surprise, I guess you would say, would be Gina Lewandowski from Bayern. It's nice to see Heather O'Reilly back in there. Getting to see a player like Rose Lavelle potentially. Really they're kind of the fringe around the edges, and when you think there's going to be a squad of 18 for the Olympics, you're really questioning whether or not they're really going to be included in that. So, I think it's more building that consistency as they kind of build towards that Olympic 3 tournament camp. So
sounds good. Let's jump over to the Jen Cooper. What were your thoughts on this roster?
Well, I'm intrigued that Jill Ellis is still bringing in people who are unproven. Lewandowski, like we mentioned, and Lavelle. I'm glad that she's mixing it up, but it does seem kind of strange when we're close to when she's going to name the roster that you're still experimenting. And we've heard lately that it doesn't sound like she's going to name the roster till July, which what that means is the next camp will pull more NWSL players than expected away from their team. So it's fascinating. I mean, I haven't decided yet if it's fascinating like a train wreck or fascinating like my favorite team. But it's fascinating because we're like, what is she doing? And it's so much different than we thought it was going to be. I think we all guessed last summer, fall that there wouldn't be a lot of turnover, but there's been so much turnover, which makes this all so much more interesting to watch.
Yeah, that's, I guess, been one of the things for me, because every time, I guess, for years now, it's been like we've gotten used to the same thing. So the fact that it's actually, like, so much turnover and we might not know who might get called up, really, it's a bit more exciting. I like this. Yeah, it might not help the team long run with chemistry and everything, but for me, for just good TV, I want to see who might get that call, which team she might take. So I've enjoyed it. Train wreck, maybe. We don't know. We'll see.
We don't know.
Right? That's a good, was a good one there. All right, Jen Hayes, your thoughts?
Well, I'm still a little baffled as to why, since for these two games might not even only be one keeper used, and that's Hope. That's kind of baffled as to why she would bring 80 French back, because that's already 5 players being taken from Portland, and now you're throwing in a 6th, so that that can't be good for them, for a player who's probably not going to see the field. And probably Rose Lavelle was the only there because of Carly's injury. It's probably the only reason why she was called in. So, but other than that, I mean, they're really, again, like you said, Lewandowski is really the only other surprise. Everybody else is pretty much who we expected to see. So, she's trying a few things, but with the Olympics so close so close, I can speak. So close. It's right around the corner. God, why are words so hard today? So, yeah, not a whole lot of surprises. A couple, but not a whole lot. Pretty much, mostly what we all expected.
Yeah, I guess in my notes, really, I put like Rose Lavelle being called up, and then Lewandowski, the Bayern Munich defender, because she's about 31, so it was a call up that's kind of interesting, because I don't know where she'll fit in. I don't know, maybe she might stake a claim in Jill Ellis's heart and actually make the side. And then, like Lavelle, like I said, I guess you said, Jen, it was because of the Carly injury, really, why she was called up, Hayes, right? So, what are your thoughts actually on her even being called up? Because she's been highly rated within the U.S. women's national team system for a while. Do you think it was a good call? You think it's going to be a good call up, or if it's just give her some experience?
I think that's more of a give her some experience. I do have a soft spot for Lavelle. Being her being a local and all. So I'm always excited when players from my hometown get called up.
I'm lagging out. I'll be right back. Continue.
I'm not sure if right now she's physically ready for the international level. It seems kind of not too skinny, but kind of maybe not be able to handle the physical punishment and the physical toll that the international level as compared to the youth and college level. So. Oh God, and we lost DJ again.
Yeah, it's fine. I've lagged out. It's Google Hangouts.
Oh, you and your technical issues.
Oh,
so I think this is more of a one for the future. Keep giving her that experience and let her develop a little bit, practicing alongside the more experienced players. So, I don't expect her to see any time, but I'm glad she keeps getting called up.
All right. Well. Let's jump into the log seal here before another technical issue.
On that Rose pick,
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it was kind of reminiscent of the Ashley Sanchez call up. It seems like every camp Jill is trying to promote an extra youth player to the senior squad to maybe kind of blood them in and get some reps with the full squad. So I don't know if it's a situation where she'll see the field, but it seems like every camp she's trying to bring up someone from the youth system that she's familiar with and get them some good looks. So
yeah, all right. Thanks for that. Yeah, Ashley Sanchez is funny. Oh, you want something to say, Cooper?
Yeah, I think we should point out that the people that Jill's calling in who aren't your normal names, she's not pulling them from NWSL.
No, that's true.
Lewandowski, and Lavelle. They're players that she knows. They're known. Obviously she pays a lot of attention to the youth system. So Lavelle's a known entity. She's not an unknown. It does seem a little strange to me that she's bypassing the 22 to 25 that are NWSL that could benefit from that camp. Colaprico, Gilliland, whoever you want to put in that slot. And I want to give her the benefit of the doubt and say it's like, hey, I didn't want to tax any team too much by taking their players, but obviously that's not right when you see what's happening to Portland. So yeah, I think it's interesting that Audie Franch gets that call up, but no one else is kind of getting that experimental. You're probably not going to make the Olympic roster, but it'd be really good to experiment. Maybe like another Lauren Barnes call up, like we saw for She Believes. Just it's like, hey, give him that one camp and see what happens.
All right, good thoughts.
We can't hear you, DJ.
All right. So anyway, as I was about to say,
oh my God. Oh, DJ.
Watching for some time now, actually, and it was funny when she was called up. I guess, like you said, that experience that she probably gained was actually good for her. Probably a benefit her when she actually does get like more call-ups in the long run. So, all right, now we can move on to the fun stuff, guys. This is where we talk about the teams and what's going to happen and all that other stuff that we know so much about. So we're going to talk about expectations going into the game. Is there a certain roster you expect? So on and so forth. Let's start with you first, Keith.
DJ, we can't hear you.
Expectations for the game, I think he said.
Yep.
Yeah, I think.
I'm pretty sure.
Just run with it.
Who are we going to first?
You're on.
Go for it, Jen.
Yeah, you're on, Jen.
Okay. Expectations for the game. I'm really intrigued to play a Japan that we haven't seen before. This is a very different roster, different coach. It's their first female coach. A lot of the names we know, aren't going to be there. But even though we don't know this team, we don't know these players, it's still going to be a very technical team. A team that the U.S. are really going to have to think to figure out how to break down. Much different than what we're going to see in July when it's South Africa and it's a team that's probably going to bunker. So my expectation, at least for tomorrow night, is it's going to be a chess match. Sunday, I think, will be a little bit different. Obviously, we always have the physical advantage, and we'll also have, I think, some kind of veteran advantage. So it probably won't be as much of a chess match, but I really think tomorrow night will be.
All right, I'll take this next. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that Jen just said. I think the first match, kind of like the Colombia game, will be kind of that full strength the plan A game plan, I guess that you would call it. And then going into Cleveland, which I'll actually be there at that game because it's so close to Toledo, and I think that game will be a more experimental lineup. The back-to-back games, it's really hard. You play someone on Thursday and then you turn right around and play them again on Sunday. Everyone's fresh in everyone's minds. Game plans, are kind of figured out at that point. It's we saw in the Columbia match, Jill Ellis tried to switch Tobin Heath back to a wing back, and they said they were doing the game scenario where they were chasing a game, and they wanted to see how Tobin would react to that and have that really high pressure opening 15-20 minutes. Maybe we'll see another type of a game scenario where I don't know what it would be, but maybe something similar where game one they go with a certain game plan, and then game two they mix it up a bit, and we see some different players and different type of game scenarios. So.
Well, like you said, we don't really know what to expect from Japan since they've got so many new players. They have 5 players on their roster that haven't gotten a cap with the national team. But I think for them it was kind of necessary since they were the second oldest team at the World Cup, and they really needed some fresh blood in, and the failure to qualify kind of sped that process up. So I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name because I know how horribly you butcher it. But she brought in a few really good, seemingly good young players that might be a bit of a challenge for for both the U.S. and Japan because the U.S. obviously hasn't seen much of them, and for Japan because they are a bit young. So it might be, like you said, a bit of a chess match and maybe go all out the second game, but it could just as easily go the other way around. It could be one of those where the hell did that scoreline come from the matches right off the bat. So I'm expecting more of a cagier match, but it could end up being another blowout.
Okay. I actually have another question. DJ says hello. First of all, I got a question for Jen Cooper. This is a really interesting opportunity for the U.S. with Carly Lloyd not in the squad. Who do you think will Jill Ellis push forward into that role? Do you think they might, will they go with that number 10? Do you think they'll go with maybe like a 4-4-2 and try out a dual striker system? Where do what do you anticipate from Jill Ellis without a Carly Lloyd in the lineup?
I don't anticipate huge lineup formation changes. I don't see her being very experimental that way, but I think this is a huge opportunity for Lindsey Horan to maybe step up and take that role, which is, I think, her more natural playing position. And we've seen historically, Jill likes to take players and move them back, which is what Lindsey Horan has kind of become. But I think without Carly Lloyd, I think this is really Lindsey Horan's opportunity to stake her claim in midfield, even if she ends up not playing that position later on when Carly comes back. But I think that opening has her name written all over it.
Great. And then also, I got another question that's kind of Dash related. Morgan Bryan was struggling with a bit of an injury earlier in the season. Hasn't maybe hit the top form for her yet, and that Dash midfield still trying to figure each other out. Do you think that her spot in the midfield is locked up, and do you see maybe an Allie Long who's combining really well with Lindsey Horan in Portland? Do you think maybe that combination might be something that we see in these matches?
I think Jill is very much still experimenting when it comes to the defensive side of midfield. And you can kind of infer from Morgan Bryan playing the full 90 at defensive mid in the Dash's last game on May 20th that that's something that Jill wanted to see. Jill was in the stadium for that entire match. I think that's the only match that Morgan's gone the full 90 for, and I have to be honest that I felt that was the most confused, discombobulated I've seen the Dash midfield this season. So I don't think we'll see that lineup again in midfield for them, but I think that was something that Jill had an interest in seeing, and we'll probably see a little bit more of that experimentation in the Japan games, though hopefully not for the full 90 because, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Morgan's completely back from that injury.
DJ, are you back?
Let's see. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. You've all right. So I guess I'll add my 2 cents since everyone said everything I wanted to say anyway. Yeah, for this lineup, really with what Jill, my expectations, I don't really expect anything too fancy or special. Like I said, I don't think some of the people. There's a lot of people I think that are called up that just won't play, and we all know that. So. Other than that, you guys hit on a lot of stuff. I'm not expecting any fancy formations. There's a lot of the usual names. It'll be fun and good. Actually, I want to see Hayo and see if she gives her a lot of play time out there or not. But someone like Nair, I did not expect that to happen. Ingen, I don't think she's gonna really play much. And then O'Hara is, she's gonna be there, but she might actually play. I think she's gonna play her more in the second half if anything. But it's good, and it's also going to be interesting to see Japan because they have that new coach now. So that's going to be interesting to see how she really sets them up and gets them going because Japan, they might be still a bit bitter about what happened to them, and they might make this a little bit more fun of a friendly game, or not so friendly game, so to speak. So all right, guys, let's go into my favorite part. It's where we predict the scores, and usually all of us are wrong. So let's go with you. Let's go with you first, Jen Hayes. Score prediction.
Well, I'm tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to predict a hat trick because I got to keep my perfect record going. But I'm going to say the first game is a 2-0. I think we'll get a shutout, but we might get a couple of goals. Maybe one from Morgan. Maybe one from. I'll say it. Brune gets her first goal this game.
Okay.
It's coming. I can feel it.
It is coming. We just don't know when, but it's coming.
All right, Cooper, what's the score you got?
I'm thinking I'm kind of torn between total blowout and
that's all I was too.
More interesting. I'm thinking it'll be more like a 3-1. No. I'm thinking Japan gets on the board mostly because we're mixing things up. It's a team we haven't played against in a sense, and they sneak by. And I have to say, I really don't want a certain keeper to get to 1 million shutouts. because I'm just really tired of these press releases coming from U.S. Soccer that are all about the latest stat. As much as I like stats, it's like, can we make it more about the game than these stats? Yeah. But that's just me.
No, I feel the same way. So we're good for that. Jake, give us a score prediction.
This matchup with Japan, I'm thinking it's going to be pretty close. You know,
Yeah.
it's interesting since the World Cup final. You know, that game was a different matchup. You know, we were much more direct, I guess, and more like now our style of play is, you know, we have the passing through the midfield. You know, it's a different type of game plan, and
Yeah.
you know, maybe it's something more similar to what Japan does. So I'm not sure it'll be quite the same level as what we saw in the World Cup final. So, you know, again, I'm kind of a 2-0 type of scoreline for that first game.
That's fine.
Second game, I have no idea what will happen. So,
I,
but at first, I think it'll be kind of a
Sure.
feeling each other out type of an opening game for Thursday. So,
But no, I was like everyone. I was kind of torn between blowout and like real tight. I was thinking 1-0 or 4-0. So I was like, I feel more 3-0 with it. I think it'll be one of those games that might be 1-0 going to halftime. Then we'll get those two, and then it becomes a party with us after we get like the second or third goal. Usually, people start having that feeling from the past of where we're gonna get 6, but we never really get up that high. So I think it's gonna be like 3-0. I think it'll be like a pretty good tight game. I think for the most part, until we blow it open. So. Now we can we all predicted the wrong scores. Let's go to Jen Hayes for this contest that we're throwing. Yes, we're throwing a contest, but I'll let Jen Hayes explain everything, and it deals with Jen Cooper for a little bit. We'll see how.
What?
Oh, you were screwed up. Did you look in the almanac and get the question?
Oh, right. The question is, name all of the players that were picked in the supplemental draft at the start of the league that are currently still active in the league.
And we'll post that on our social media and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't have to answer the question. Okay, good.
No,
Good.
not at all. But now, Jen Hayes, you're supposed to do some promotion of where'd you get that from?
Oh yes. You can. What is it on Keeper Notes?
Keepernotes.com.
Yes, if you go on keepernotes.com, you can find the link to purchase the NWSL Almanac. I purchased that sucker soon as I had the opportunity, and if you're a stats nerd like I am, it will be something I think you'll highly enjoy. So please go online, please purchase it, and enjoy. It is good.
And Cooper, would you like to talk about it real quick or something?
Yeah, I can give a lot more shameless plug to it. I'm actually I'm already working on the mid-season update, so anybody who purchases by today, midnight today, will get a free mid-season update where it'll have an Olympic schedule, Olympic roster, stats through August 1st, and then of course I'm going to do this every year, and it's just going to get more and more stuff in it, and I hope to add also down the line a WSA and a WPS almanac. But stuff for the mid-season update, like I said, Olympics, coaches registry, goal of the week, player of the week, all the stuff that I can find, put it all in one place, because I know you guys understand it's the same desire I had. It's like I want to find all this stuff. It's not in one place. And I'm someone I've done media guides before. I did the Dynamo media guide, the design of it, the production of it for 5 years. So I knew how to put this together, and it's been great to have the feedback from people of just like, this is so cool, thank you so much. No one's complained yet, which has made me really happy. So yeah, you can buy it at keepernotes.com. It's a downloadable PDF, and I am going to look into a print on demand option, which would obviously be a separate purchase. So if somebody wanted a bound copy, but right now it's just a downloadable PDF. 130 pages and great photos from some WOSO friends out there, from Michelle Morrison, who covers Sky Blue a lot, and then my guys here in Houston. So thanks for giving me the plug.
Yeah, not a problem. I knew we'd do that like silently or secretly for you, but Jen Hayes messed it all up. Goodness sake, Jen Hayes.
Yeah, I messed that up.
You should ask the question again, just so people can hear the question again.
Yeah, let's try that again. Let's try the whole segment over again. So, Jen Hayes, you have something to plug that deals with Jen Cooper.
Okay.
Just a trivia question, right? What do they get if they answer the trivia question?
List all of the players that were taken in the 2013 supplemental draft that are currently active in the league.
All right,
and if they answer, what do they get, Dwayne?
Do
I want to send them an almanac?
Oh yeah. You want to send them an almanac? Yeah.
Oh, and we got an echo.
Yeah, we got that echo. Yeah, we were sitting around trying to guess what to send, and we just didn't know.
I can send an almanac, no problem.
Yes, that's what we predicted. So let's get out of here before we get sick of that echo. Anyone else have anything? No, Jake, it's not you today. I think the echo is Yep, it's Cooper. You got.
Sorry about that.
Okay, guys. Another episode of Close. I'm your host, DJ. That's me here, my own voice. We'll be back Saturday. And stuff like that. So let's all thank Jake for joining us.
You're very welcome. Welcome.
Definitely trying to bring you back. It's always fun. So guys, we'll see you Saturday with no echo. And try to win that almanac. I'm gonna win it. All right. Let's all wave as we always do. Bye.